My career, I was a high-tech entrepreneur. I was 6 years in the Israeli army as a company commander in the paratroopers. I have my bachelor's in computer science in the Hebrew University. תבקש שם שקט בחוץ בבקשה. ברק. And then as an entrepreneur, I developed with my partners some of the first antivirus software. You may have heard of a company called Checkpoint in Israel. So I was chairman of Checkpoint in the first 4 years and evolved to do venture capital work in Israel. And we invested in Israeli-related companies that go global. Then 16 years ago, I decided to retire from my business career when I was 42 and to focus on how to make Jerusalem work better. I was concerned that we had some negative trends in the city, negative migration, poverty, and the city was not using its full potential. And so I decided to be a public entrepreneur. First 5 years I was not elected as mayor, I prepared my business plan on how to make Jerusalem work better. And when I got elected in 2008, I started pushing very aggressively the vision I'll share with you right now. I actually did research with Professor Michael Porter from Harvard Business School. He's a well-known figure in the world in competitive strategies. What I've done with his guidance focused on two big economic drivers for the city. The first is clustering tourism with culture. Since Jerusalem is an amazing brand, billions of people around the world say to themselves they want to at least come once to Jerusalem in their lifetime, but we were not using that potential. So Jerusalem is going through a very strong cultural renaissance and very creative in arts. And the second business cluster is health, life sciences, and high-tech. I assume that's what we're going to be seeing tonight. What we've learned is that Jerusalem has one of the best universities in the world, Hebrew U. Top 10 in the world in generic research and life sciences, top 4 in computer science and math. Yet we weren't keeping the talent that came to study here. The talent used to go to other places in the country and in the world. So we created an ecosystem from our experience that is really easy for young startups to stay and expand. That ecosystem is an array of tax incentives, significant amount of cultural networking events like we have tonight. We had a dozen a year. Today we have more than one a day. We have over 250 events, close to 300 events a year, which is very significant. And it create together, plus the cultural renaissance the city is going through, created an ecosystem that young startups prefer Jerusalem now. And we moved in 4 years from 250 to over 600 startups. The Entrepreneur magazine has mentioned Jerusalem as one of the 5 top emerging tech hub cities in the world in terms of the growth. And we were not ranked as an industry in the past. 2015 we were already ranked 35th in the world. Last year we jumped to 25th position. You may have heard of Mobileye, the Israeli company that was the Jerusalem-based company that was acquired. You were just come from there, okay? So you see yourself, and so the ranking was before Mobileye was acquired, and Intel decided to have their autonomous car R&D centered here. So we see a few areas where Jerusalem has competitive advantages, and definitely in computer science and math, you see automotive and picture imaging, and also Cisco has their video research company center here in Jerusalem, and we have a few clusters of companies, of areas where we're excelling in. For me as mayor, my role is like being a market maker. We've created an ecosystem for young companies to scale. Now, right 200 yards from that way, there's a real area, big area that is vacant. We're building a new business district here that is going to be right on top of the transportation hub. A fast train from Tel Aviv, 2 light rail lines, central bus station, walking distance from Machne Yehuda, from where we are now, walking distance from the government, walking distance from the museums. The hub is a big deal. We're building 1.6 million square meters of office space. It's a big undertaking, which will have the capacity of 60,000 employees, and is meeting Jerusalem at its growth in the economy. So, for me, the philosophy is focused on where we have edges, which is definitely health, life sciences, and high tech. We're now in the process of doubling the amount of students in Jerusalem. Actually, I started that 8 years ago. We were 31,000 students. Today we're 42,000 students, and my goal is 60,000 students. We've put cornerstones to double and triple some of our colleges. Hadassah, Azrieli, Tal, Lev, each of them are growing from 1 to 3 to 4,000 students. The Hebrew U is now doubling their computer science school because of the growth, and part of my strategy is to expand the high-tech capacity in the city to be able to help and feed the growth of the economy into the future. And so the process, it's looking good. I'm very optimistic. I'll stop here and be happy to answer your questions.